Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Get connected, Fitchburg. Sign up for Fitchburg Connect, the city's monthly e-newsletter that keeps you informed about all the events, services, and updates that matter to you. Get it in your inbox once a month. Sign up today to get Fitchburg Connect.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Fitch-Rona EMS District for Thursday, August 20th, 2026. Could we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Kirk?
Here.
Schultz? Here. Lepper? Winkers?
Here.
Lido? Fusco?
Here.
Lonsdorf?
Here.
Anderson?
Here.
Anders?
Here.
Dastelik.
All right, we seem to have a quorum. Is there any public comment tonight? A lot of members of the public here. All right, nobody with any comments. All right, thank you. First item then is recognition of volunteer EMT paramedic Tom Bates for 35 years of service. So we're going to go, if you guys want to move out of the way, okay.
You get all of our presentations with Dave Lonsdorf right in the middle of it. That is awesome. So to our commission and the members of our public tonight, I have it's a great honor, right, to recognize Tom Bates, who has been here, EMT in '89, but we're figuring started somewhere in there about that, or 1990. Started with Fitch-Rona, so 36 years of service as an EMT. Put himself through paramedic school so that he could stay here at Fitch-Rona. I would say ran every Sunday afternoon from noon to 5 for something like that. And then this was his first year, decided to hang it all up. So 36 years here of service with Fitch-Rona, which is just phenomenal. So we have a plaque to recognize that with him, as well as in the, I would say, the dark little corner of the Verona station is I brought the big plaque up there with our Years of Service Award. So Tom is only the second person after Ron Martin, who many people here know as well, to have spent 35 years at Fitch-Rona. So that is a great honor. It's a little tiny corner there because not very many people achieve that. So again, great honor to give you this plaque, and thank you for your years of service with Fitch-Rona.
Thank you.
I came out to Fitch-Rona in '90 because if I was going to do this, I wanted to do it right. And back then, Fitch-Rona had a reputation of being the best EMS in the county. It's a reputation it earned, it's a reputation it's kept, and I'm very proud to have been a member. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you again. I'm trying to have to look at the agenda. Who was next? The swearing in of Maddie Cramlett. All right. We'll have Maddie come on up. So lots of public things tonight. We talked last month about the internship program here at Fitch-Rona. We brought on 2 phenomenal interns here at Fitch-Rona that are going to start this year with our 2-year paramedic program. So Madeline Cramlett is our second one, and she was unable to join us last month because you were in like the jungles or Europe or climbing the mountains of somewhere, doing some phenomenal stuff as well. So she's with us this month, and we're gonna award her EMT badge with us. So I will have you raise your right hand for me, please, and repeat after me, and I'll keep the sentences short. So I state your name.
I, Madeline Cramlett,
as a sworn emergency medical technician of the Fitch-Rona EMS District,
as a sworn emergency medical technician of the Fitch-Rona EMS District,
swear that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
swear that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of an EMS provider.
discharge the duties of an EMS provider.
And I pledge to carry out these duties
And I pledge to carry out these duties
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I recognize the badge of my position
I recognize the badge of my position
as a symbol of public faith and trust.
as a symbol of public faith and trust.
And I accept this position
And I accept this position
so long as I am true to the ethics of the emergency medical services profession.
as so long as I am true to the ethics of the emergency medical profession.
You got it. I make these promises solemnly,
I make these promises solemnly,
freely,
freely,
and upon my honor.
and upon my honor.
And at this time, as part of her internship program, paramedic Hayden Latch is actually going to be her mentor, and she has chosen him to come pin her badge on. Congratulations. All right. And our final event this evening is actually a promotion. So we recently had a promotion process held, and actually Andrew Jensen will be this evening receiving his promotion from his paramedic badge to his lieutenant badge. So we'll have Andrew come up, please. Perfect. I know that's really tall, isn't it? Well, have you raise your right hand for me, please? And if you listen to all of that, we're going to do a lot of the same stuff. So I state your name.
I, Andrew Jensen.
As a lieutenant of the Fitch-Rona EMS District.
As a lieutenant of the Fitch-Rona EMS District.
Swear that I will support the statutes and administrative rules of the state of Wisconsin.
Swear that I will
support the
statutes
and administrative rules
of the state of Wisconsin.
Thank you. I will honor and respect the mission.
I will honor and respect the mission,
goals, purpose and policies
of
the Fitch-Rona EMS District.
I will
faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of a lieutenant. And I pledge to carry out these duties. To the best of my ability. I recognize the badge of my position. As a symbol of public faith and trust. And I accept, so long as I am true. To the ethics of the emergency medical services profession. I make these promises solemnly. Freely, and upon my honor. And who are we going to have come pin your badge on? All right, let me open that up for you. So we will take your regular paramedic badge.
Patrick's going to take this one, okay?
And we're going to replace it with a lieutenant badge. Stick it straight in there. Oh. Congratulations. Oops. So we Do a quick recess to let everybody who wants to stay, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the commission meeting. If not, feel free to go get ice cream.
All right, we're ready to resume the August 20th meeting. Next is a review and approval of the meeting minutes from the last meeting, July 16th.
Move to approve.
All right, move to approve. Second.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion of the minutes or addition or corrections, rather? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, minutes approved. Next, Chief's report.
Sure, going to give me 2 seconds.
A separate attachment, I think.
Yeah, looks like I didn't download it to my computer, so I got to find the one I sent to all of you.
It was 18 at 7:30.
Perfect, thank you. I know there was some data missing off of this one. So here's the Chief's report. It's a pretty busy month, similar to what we saw in the earlier in the year. But so 492, pretty significant jump for us. 2% is where we're at currently for our call volume for the year. Other numbers you see there are pretty normal. Did add about another 8 calls. The times that City of Madison, Oregon had to come into the district last month. A couple of events in here. We did the Fitchburg Library Touch-a-Truck, so thank you to Sarah and Lane for going out there. Huge turnout for that. Verona's National Night Out. Sarah and Abby went, took an ambulance to that, and then we actually also had a crew here with up in Fitchburg, and I'll throw that on there for next month. But a couple of good events out there for us. The usual numbers you'll see there for July. The August aging report, you'll see their numbers are pretty normal. I did reach out to I got the note here. I did reach out to after the discussion from last month was about the aging numbers. What I got back from Brett from Johnson Block, who does our accounting. So there's actually not really a good standard out there for what aging is. He did actually send me a couple of articles. They're also written by EMS billing companies, so probably a little bit skewed. But I actually haven't had the opportunity yet to kind of take a look at those and see, kind of revisit those numbers. So that one answer to that is that's still kind of in a state of flux. You'll see a big reduction in that over 180 days. Myself and Deputy Chief Dostelik have actually been kind of digging in and tackling some of those as well and kind of coming up with some better procedures about how we can make sure that those are getting caught and billed. Lots of things with signatures on there. Other follow-up from last month, was about the percentage that the collection agency takes. So I believe I brought up our contract with EMSMC, who is our billing company, and they keep 6% of what they bill, which is pretty common with what we previously had and what other EMS billing agencies are out there. Once it goes to a collection agency, they keep 20% of it, which is actually less than what we were paying with our previous collection agency, which was keeping 33%. So once it rolls to them, once they collect it, they keep 20% of that. As far as our cash on hand, as of the end of July, we still had not gotten our municipal funds yet. So I believe we have gotten those. Michelle is not here tonight. She had a conflict, but we'll follow up on that. If any issues come up for next month, I'll have her reaching out to you to encourage our municipal deposits for the second half of the year. Rest of the things you'll see there, the FAP expenditure that was from last month actually was part of, we got some new mounting brackets for our cardiac monitors, and the original purchase we were one short. So we actually had one additional one in there, so that's why you see that expenditure there. No donations for the month. Our two big milestones for Amy Hansen, who was full-timer with us for 4 years, and then Jessie Peters will actually hit her 1-year anniversary with us. I want to say it's the 24th, so next week, Tuesday, she will officially come off probation, should we let her. But she'll be with us for 1 year. So congratulations to those two. No real other updates I have for you. Oh, we'll do the one shout out. We did get a thank you letter from for Jeremy Owen and Andrew Jensen on a patient that sent a letter thanking them for their care. Other updates I have for you. There's a couple other things I still owe you numbers for that I will get back to you on next month, but I do have them written down. Dr. Mancera is going to come talk to us at the annual meeting in October. That's the very last thing you saw on the agenda, reminder of that. But he's actually going to come do a presentation on kind of what the medical directors are doing and what we want to do for the following year. I know putting you on the spot, Jeff, do you want to talk about the deputy chief hiring process?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So we finished the initial, we had 11 applicants apply, pretty much from around the country. We narrowed it down to 7 with the fire chief in Verona and then the 3 of us. Out of those 7, we'll do phone interviews with them next week on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll narrow that down potentially to 4 or 5. And then we'll do interviews. We're looking at September 1st and 2nd to do panel interviews with the hope of having the process finished by middle of October so that we can do background checks and then that person can start beginning of November. So I did mention to Patrick that I would be willing to stick around a little bit after November 20th if we don't get that person hired. Some of the candidates have some significant experience, but they're out of the state, and they might have some challenges in getting licensed in Wisconsin as a paramedic. So that's why we're doing the phone interviews, is to kind of just see where they're at with things.
So we'll keep you informed. We should have an update next month on where that process is. Other update I have is just making you aware of the personnel complaint that we have. We're still set for arbitration at the end of September, but have ever since received the personnel who had left filed a complaint for a violation of Department of Workforce Development violations on wrongful termination. So that has been sent off to our attorney. I will keep you informed where that goes. We have 3 weeks, 21 days, I think, to respond to that. So that just came last week. So once we get that response from Troy, I will share with you if we need to be involved with that, but just making you aware that that complaint has been filed. That's what I have for my chief's report.
All right, any other questions for the chief about the report? There was something in the minutes about finding out how many uninsured patients we have. Did you? That's this big empty spot. Oh, okay. Deferred to next time, okay. All right, just to let you know, we hadn't forgotten. All right, the Gatsby's 54 approval.
Sure. So I kind of sped over that as part of the chief's report. The usual stuff every month. The only thing that changes in here is that $511 in post-retirement healthcare funds, as that continues to go up, as it just continues to earn some interest in there. Nothing else new with the GASB funds, but committing these funds here as part of our budget as assigned.
All right, I need a motion to approve the resolution 20, what is it, GASB 54.
So move to approve GASB 54.
Seconded.
All right, there we go. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, GASB is approved. Next is the accounts payable checks, which we have to review and approve. Let's see, where are they? Oh, that's the budget. Hang on. Any questions for the chief about the checks?
I don't know if nobody's going to ask the question. When we have to do patient refunds, Michelle redacts those names off there. That's why you see the black line on there, as those were patients. There is one name that you will see on there that actually wasn't a patient. We took out their basketball hoop with our ambulance. So that's what it was. And the dollar amount that we ended up paying didn't really make it worth doing an insurance claim. So that's what that, when you see that person's name on there, I don't know what it fell under as far as a category, but that they got a new basketball hoop and we got a damaged ambulance. So we're good.
Ooh. Too bad. All right, motion to approve the checks?
Motion to approve the
Move to approve, all right. Just pass it around. Second, anyone?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the checks are approved. Where are we? Next is the resolution 2026-08 for the purchase of replacement response support vehicle.
So I think I put the wrong number on the agenda. I think it's a 07.
07?
Because our GASB, I think, was 06. So
Okay.
I'll correct it. Or I got the numbers backward, something like that. So bringing this up, we've talked a little bit about this. It was been about a year since we've seen this. I'll actually pass these out. I only have 2 copies if you want to take a look at it. The context behind this, and something you can act on tonight, or if you want to defer it to next month, you can do that as well, as this is kind of the first time you're seeing it. So about a year ago, we brought up about replacing one of our response vehicles, our Car 15, our SUV, our 2010 SUV, with a different vehicle, something a little bit larger that we could potentially get rid of our rehab trailer and put some of that equipment on a truck, and then not have to have a trailer, not pulling a trailer in a potentially emergent response, bigger vehicle to help drive some more training equipment around and using it as a response vehicle. So about a year ago, the commission actually kind of earmarked some FAP fundings. We can use our state funding to replace that vehicle. It's not supposed to be replaced until 2030, and then how we have it budgeted is actually replacing it with just another SUV. So the cost of actually like that, a light utility vehicle like we have, and there's actually some drawings in the vehicle that are the proposal that I am passing around to you. In the back of it, there's actually there's a little bit of an update to those drawings there, but essentially that is the vehicle itself. So I have been working with, I did actually work with 2 different vendors on this, and ultimately went with the one vendor who was a little bit easier and more responsive to work with. But moving forward with that, what we have gotten is a grant or a donation. It doesn't really fall under grant. I call it grants because it's for a specific reason, but from Epic Software, who does annually provide the city of Verona and its departments, to include Fitch-Rona, with a significant donation. So what I put in for that Epic grant this year was actually some funding to go towards this car. As you can see from the price tag that's on there, it's significantly more than what we would normally be replacing a car with. Normally it's above what we actually budget, the municipality's budget, the fleet replacement for. However, with that donation from Epic, with those funds that we have set aside in the FAP funds, what I'm asking for here is actually to use some of that unassigned fund balance that we've been talking about for the last couple of months for a single purchase to pay for the remainder of this car. So that would take our Epic, donation, the funds we've asked for from FAT funds, and then earmark $100,000 from that unassigned fund balance would actually fund this car prior to our 2030 replacement, and actually fully fund it with and we'd be able to leave those fleet dollars back in the CIP process at the municipalities. Did that make sense? What are your questions?
Sorry, I'll have the first one. Cost of the vehicle is $250,000, more or less. We're providing $100,000 out of
our unassigned fund balance.
Funds. FAP is $72,000, and the remainder $80,000 or so is Epic.
So Epic will probably be giving a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I still don't have I don't have the unofficial number. I don't have the official number yet. Based on the Epic funds, the $100,000 from the unassigned fund balance and $72,000 from FAP. So yes, math. If that's going to be more than $250,000, the additional funds that are built in there would actually replace the radio, replace an MDT, would replace the stuff inside. And I want to say inside. It would replace the radio, which also needs to be replaced as part of the cycle that would have been replaced with the truck. The other thing you'll see in there is that does not include graphics. So I need more than what you'll see listed on there. One, to purchase and install the radio, and to actually put graphics on the vehicle. This should be enough to cover both those things.
All right. Yeah, go. Yeah, no, that's it. So go ahead.
So that's the purchase of the vehicle and the graphics, and then obviously the computer and stuff like that. But what about all the medical equipment that goes in the back and those drawers and stuff like that? Is that going to have to be funded later on?
Nope, because this replaces the SUV, which is the car that the chiefs use. So the only thing we have are 2 bags and a cardiac monitor. So that'll just come out of the existing car and go in the back of this. This is replacing our rehab trailer. So the only true medical supplies are those 2 first response bags and the cardiac monitor.
And then all the other supplies would be pulling from the trailer to go into the, okay.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
I have one other question.
Go ahead.
And I was going to pause to see if anyone else had anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
And what's going to happen to the other vehicle that the chiefs are using right now for that vehicle?
So we have 2 vehicles. We'll keep the 2020 we'll keep the other SUV, our 2020 Explorer. The current 2010 Expedition we have, we'll either send to it gets offered to the cities first. It still only has 55,000 miles on it. It'll just be 20 years old. So the cities will have an opportunity to buy it. Otherwise, it will go to auction and can actually help offset this cost.
So then once it goes to auction, if there is, let's just say we get however much money for that vehicle at auction, where does that money come back into? Does it go into the unassigned? Does it go into the other dollar? Like, where does that money go if we get it back?
So it'll just go into the unassigned fund balance, unless it's a minimal amount, in which case I can let you know maybe we buy something for this truck.
Got it. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So really, it goes back into the unassigned fund balance.
Okay, thank you.
Or just the fund balance, general fund.
And then, so it's the support and rapid response vehicle. What are the kinds of situations that it would be most utilized in?
I would say most utilized, I call it my FedEx truck. FedEx.
Delivering packages?
The FedEx, yeah. What we use it predominantly, what it is used, it's even our current vehicle, I always like to say, right, drives the same 9 miles back and forth every day. It's really what we use to go to meetings, to deliver things to supplies, to go to training. When we do CPR classes, we load that vehicle up, take it out to our CPR classes, our Stop the Bleed courses. We took it out to Epic all week this week. That was our vehicle out there. But it also, as we're driving around, or similarly, we have talked, usually if the Verona ambulance is out and another call comes in Verona, myself or Devin, when we're down there, we'll actually hop in that vehicle and first respond. So this vehicle is also it's I would say it's a multi-purpose vehicle. Predominantly, it's used to drive supplies and around or go to meetings, but it is also used as the new role will be part of that rehab response that we currently take our trailer to. So this one will go to structure fires, it'll go to special events, or we also use it as a first response vehicle.
And will it need lights and sirens and such?
It does have lights and sirens on them, yes, because we do use it for that purpose. Oh, yeah, it's not nearly as flashy as a lot of cars. I was pretty subtle with it. I don't need a lot of lights, but it does have lights and sirens, yes, so that adds a lot of the cost. It has, yes.
I have one last question about the trailers. So then if we're getting rid of the trailer, is that also going to go to auction, and will those funds also be put back into the unassigned, or what's happening with the trailer?
Yeah, so we got it for free from the county, so I don't know that there's a lot of value to it at all, but yeah,
another man's trash is another man's treasure.
We will offer it up to anybody who wants it for free, since we got it for free, but we'll try to find a new home for it.
Okay.
Looking for a trailer or no?
No.
All right. Do you need an approval for this, right?
I do. A couple. You've already committed for the FAP funds. This officially accepts the donation, which we don't have to do from Epic, but it's on there because it's part of the process here. What you're doing here is committing unassigned fund balance of $100,000 towards this purchase. So, and the purchase of a vehicle.
Yeah, getting the vehicle. All right. All right. So did everybody hear that we're agreeing to spend $100,000 out of the unassigned funds and the actual purchasing of the vehicle? So, anyone want to make a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Okay.
To that effect.
To that effect. All right. Second.
I'll second.
All right, Stephen, thank you. Any further discussion, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, we have approved the purchase of the
I've got it.
emergency vehicle.
It is about a 12-month build. So by the time we sign the paperwork, we won't see it for about 12 months.
About a year.
Yes, we'll see. So as you see it pop up, and I can bring it to your attention as you'll see it on the check report, there's two big deposits. One, the chassis is ordered. We pay for the chassis, and then so Reliant is part of a company called Frazier. So Frazier is actually doing the build. They're in Texas. So they buy the chassis, we pay the chassis, they pick it up. They do most of the build in Texas. Then it comes up to Reliant, which is in Slinger. Then they do the rest of the stuff, more of the customization side of things. And then when we take delivery, we give them the rest of their money.
All right.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah.
Is that adding miles? Are they driving it to and from, or are they putting it on a trailer and shipping it? Because that's going to be a lot of miles that are putting on it that are not in district. Oh, okay. I would just be curious. I'm just curious to know. I mean, it is what it is, but.
I feel like most fire trucks are driven. Yeah, they're usually driven.
They're driven. Okay.
Yeah. Expensive to haul them. All right. Let's see. Next is we're going to talk again about the permanent part-time paramedic position, which we tabled last time, and hopefully we'll get this resolved. So, Patrick, go ahead on that.
So, I don't know that I've got
Procedurally, I think it has to come off the table.
Can we make a motion to bring it off the table?
It has to.
So untable it.
Yes.
Detable it.
Detabling it. It's the motion to I move to detable.
Someone's been reading their Robert's Rules over
Yeah.
there. Second.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor of untabling the motion or untabling the action? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we can discuss it. Thank you.
Sorry. So let me
See, the MOU, there it is.
click a couple things here and. You were actually sent, I think, this copy with the notes in it. I do have a clean copy here, but since you saw it last, I want to say 3 months ago, a couple of changes that have gone back and forth, and at the very end, I'll kind of there's one hang up still that I'll bring to your attention. So the stuff in red you'll see was the changes from the original document that you changed 3 years ago with a handful of notes that are over here. The biggest, and it's been a couple of conversations with the union, and I think I brought this up last month, one of the concerns was that if we define more than X amount of hours in our collective bargaining agreement, that the union was potentially concerned if I've got an LTE who does work more than that number of hours, they could potentially apply to become represented even in an LTE status. So we do have a guidance in our policy about what defines a permanent part-time. So I'm fine with taking that out of the collective bargaining agreement, right? So it just says this is somebody who works less than a full-timer. We don't say more than a different number, just less than full-time. Most of the other stuff you'll see in here, the next 3 paragraphs, just truly, they're protecting what a regular part-time person is, right? That just because they're scheduled 24 hours a week, anything above, they're still allowed to work anything above and beyond that. They can still trade. They will not result in a monthly recalculation of the benefits. This was one of our sticking points last time, that If they decide to work more than 24 hours a week, maybe they consistently pick up 36 hours a week. We're not readjusting their benefits every month. So it's not changing the proration every month based on the true number of hours they work, that they're getting benefits based on their guaranteed hours of 24 hours a week, of 2 24-hour shifts. So it very much notes that does not change. That's what that is based on. It does say, right, it's protecting the full-time. So if any additional hours are reoccurring compared to a full-time schedule, potentially the idea is that they don't want us to start creating full-time spots that we're just filling with part-timers. Right, I truly, and I don't think you have any interest in replacing 21 full-timers with 42 part-timers, but that's essentially what this is saying, that if the union feels like we are getting there, that we are more than happy to go back to the table with them. As we have talked, as I have shared with the municipalities, right, the end goal here is that I want to say it's by 2030, right, by adding permanent part-time, by adding that peak time truck and continuing to grow that over the next 4 years, this year included, over the next 4 years, by 2030, we actually have funding then to convert these positions to full-time positions without having that big jump. And then we start the whole process over again. But that's what the language they asked for in here, right? That said, our intention is not to start staffing ambulances with a bunch of part-timers. If there's an opportunity to create a full-time position, that we can do that. The rest of anything you see in black there did not change. We did. Down here, we originally had made a cap of 96 hours. We just raised that cap to 144 hours. So it was, I think it's whatever that works into, 4 weeks. There is the caveat that brought in here from the union, what happens if I have a full-timer who wants to go part-time? And they're over that excess, what happens to that? So essentially what we said is if they transitioned from a full-time to a part-time position, they don't lose any of that earned hour, that's hours that they have earned, but we did go into a sick time payout for part-timers. So if a part-timer, it would take a part-timer 5 years as a part-timer to hit that maximum hours of sick time, that we, just like our full-timers, we would end up paying it out just like our full-timers, 50% of those hours earned at a cap. Not that I'm not going to have a part-timer that works here as a part-timer for 5 years, but I don't think we're going to have a part-timer that works here for 5 years. But if we do, it's the same. It's a payout. We originally did, it was a back and forth. I think we had no PTO bank in there, which means from the day they got hired, it would be a year before they could take vacation. So similarly to our full-timers, they would have a 24-hour PTO time bank when they first start, so two days they would be able to start with, and from day one. Otherwise, they would have to wait for a year. With that, we lowered the accrual of vacation time. And then we put a 4-year step in there. So if somebody happened to stay here as a full-time or as a permanent part-time for 4 years, they would actually they would accrue 1 more day a year of vacation time. Funeral days, we had 1 paid day. The request was to raise that to 2. That would be a week off for a funeral leave. The criteria are still the same. Nothing else changed in here. It did include the pay scale, which mirrors what the full-timers are. And then we did change the date to start. The document I have changed the date to start in September. So those were the changes. I feel like those aren't huge asks. I feel like it's actually a pretty good parity, not a huge lift. The remaining hang-up we have that I have not gotten a full confirmation on is it actually had to do with that prorated benefits. Though they put in there that benefits wouldn't change changed on how many hours they put every month. The original request from the union was that then we not allow that person to work more than 24 hours a week. So though it would be a fixed schedule, but they would not be given any opportunity to pick up overtime. I am not okay with that. I feel like the language that we have in there that says an understanding that your benefits are based on a 24-hour work week, but if, like any other full-timer, if you wanted to pick up hours, right, a full-timer doesn't get any more benefits by working more shifts. A part-timer wouldn't get any more benefits by working any more shifts. So my suggestion is that as you see it here, unless anybody has any other questions about benefits, that we are okay with this. But I put that out there with the understanding that I have still not gotten confirmation that the union is okay with what you're looking at. That last sticking point is their ask that we limit it to 24 hours, which I have told them we're not going to do. So it may come back, and if they don't agree to that, I will share that with you. And I'm, at least at this point, I'm not willing to go back to the table to talk about that limitation. But I will let you know. I will entertain some questions.
So if we approve this and they don't for that sticking point, then what? It doesn't get approved.
Then it doesn't get approved.
We both have to approve it. Okay.
It doesn't get approved. It goes nowhere. We stay with our current peak time truck staffing model of it goes out there, and if it's filled, it's filled. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
This model guarantees them hours, guarantees them benefits, and guarantees us 2 days a week of that peak time ambulance. Versus right now, it's about a 50% staffing.
Yeah. So we were hopeful. Okay. Questions, comments?
Do we have, I mean, I also agree that I don't like the idea that we wouldn't be able to allow those individuals to work more. To your comment on the benefits with, a full-time employee going into overtime, there's nothing extra that they get. But if we are in that position, do we know what the interest of any candidates would be? Do we have any idea of people that are looking to go into this type of role? Do we know if they would even be, I could see that as a sticking point where someone's just like, I would like to do it, but if you're going to limit me, now I don't want to do it.
Yes.
So do we know, and is the union aware of that they're almost hurting that representation?
Yes.
And they're okay with that? From what we can tell?
Yes.
Do we, and I guess do we have individuals that are aware of that would apply for that have we heard from them that would be a sticking point for them?
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay.
I do have a quick question about on the union side. Who is making that decision? Are they consulting any people, like interested candidates, or are they making the decision unilaterally?
I can't speak, I guess, on behalf of the union. I know the union steward, Brandon Ryan, for the Fitch-Rona union steward, is talking with the executive board of 311. So it's in their court.
And the position it's a union position, so it needs to be posted just like any other position that we have. So the people that are doing it now certainly can apply and are probably the most interested in doing it. But in the end, we could get people from outside the company, outside the district that want that as well. So it's hard to gauge how they would feel about that.
Is this a unique situation? Do we have a new precedence here that we're trying to set, or do other districts have something similar?
We're the first. Most everybody else has the option that we are currently using, and they just have people who fill up positions. We are the first I know of it around here, and that's part of what the struggle is a permanent part-time represented position, at least in Dane County, does not exist. This is the kind of our plan on, we know we need more staffing. We know we're not going to get $500,000 to hire 5 to 7 new people in 1 year. So let's do it over 4 years. But to me, this is how we get there. And we can still proceed with that. We just have to do it a little bit different. It just, to me, it de-incentivizes the work. So this incentivizes it as a represented with benefits and permanent part-time, and you have a fixed schedule. To me, it incentivizes the position.
I have another question. So if we're limiting the person or the individual to 24 hours, because it's 2 12-hour shifts, and the union doesn't want that person to go over that, is it because they think it could be uncapped? Or is it that if we put a cap on it, so if we were to say, okay, well, you're guaranteed the 24 hours, but we don't want you to exceed 36 hours, right? Like, is there a limit that they are willing to even look at, or is it that just that they're hard set? Licensed and is able to staff that truck to give good patient care to our community, and the union is limiting us from that provider. That's what's concerning to me as an individual for this community, is that the union is taking away the care for my community because of that. And if I don't get that individual who's willing and able to, I understand if they don't want that person to get 80 hours of overtime. Totally understand that, because then that could go down a different path. But do we even know what their top limit would be? Even if, or are they only saying 24 hours? We don't know. Could we take that back, or could I ask
I
you?
haven't asked the question because I think that starts to complicate things. And now I'm back to limiting somebody that maybe, like, if I'm a teacher and I have all summer off and I want to work 96 hours a week for 3 months, I'll pick up extra shifts, and then I can go back to my 2 12-hour days a week during the school year. So maybe this week I do want to do 48, and next week I only want to do my 24. So I think if you start capping, I believe, and this is my interpretation just based on conversations, I believe, again, the crux of the issue is, and maybe parity is not the exact word for it, but if it's somebody who does routinely work 36 hours a week, right? I believe the union is saying they should be getting benefits based on somebody who's working 75%, not 50%. I believe that's the issue. I believe that's it, which and kind of I've shared, like, is a logistical nightmare.
Sure.
Right? That would be changing somebody's benefits every month. So I think that's what. I think that's what one of the causes of this is they just want to make sure that their represented employees are getting parity. I don't know that I can meet that, right? I'm like taking the stance or the belief, right? If a full-timer is working 48 hours a week, then they want to pick up an extra 12 hours a week, they don't get different benefits. They get overtime, right? Everything else applies. They're getting paid for their time here. They're getting overtime over 40. They're getting I think there's enough pros here that I think we can make that limitation. And they have the wording in there that says if we get to 12 months and you find out that there's somebody is routinely working 36 hours a week, then we will relook at it. Or 24 hours a week or 36 hours a week, and we will relook at it. And maybe in a year from now, if that parity comes in there, maybe the option is, all right, now we do have to put a cap on it, because if you're going to come and say that we want parity, well, maybe I can limit your hours. So I'm not saying that this maybe in the future is not going to be an issue that's going to come up in collective bargaining. This is only for 18 months, and then it will have to either get absorbed into the next collective bargaining unit or it will go away. So I think we got 18 months. Well, the clock keeps ticking now. So we're down to 17 months or 16 months now to figure this out. Mm-hmm. But I would 100% agree with you. I don't know why you would. That is why I believe they want the hours restricted.
I also think that, like, if someone's applying for this position and they have the understanding that they're guaranteed 24 hours, and that if they go above that, nothing changes, you're signing a contract essentially, right? Like you're making that knowingly, entering into that agreement knowingly. So I don't know. I guess I'm concerned. I have my thoughts on voting on this tonight now, but I would be very curious to see what more the union has to say on this, because even if it's timed, right, where we're down to 16 months now, if it's giving us the ability to test this for 16 months, get data from it, and see what truly happens from it, knowing that there is an expiration date on it, if we could go through that process and actually collect the data, we could make a more informed decision. But I'm concerned about voting on this and then having it just be a dead in the water if they say no.
I will let you make that decision.
Yeah.
the challenge again, if you want to wait, that we have 2 people interested in this spot, who have been interested in this spot now for 8 months. Because we've been talking about this I've been talking about this for 6.5 years, right? But we thought we were there December of last year, and then it is now just been kicked the can down. So they understand that they've been kept in all the conversations. They're also getting very frustrated because they're like, what do I do with my schedule? Because now let's do this or let's not do this. So again, I completely understand where you're coming from. I guess I would encourage, I believe, at least verbally, everything you see here has been agreed upon, with the exception of we may have walked through that limit and I just can't find documentation of it. I checked with Brandon. He could not recall whether we made sure we had that limit on there or not. I would encourage in the spirit of, if they come back and say, yeah, that's fine, then we can actually move forward with this in 2 weeks, versus if we don't, it's another month. But completely understand both sides of that. We approved this 3 months ago and it came back. So.
More comments? All right. More comments, questions?
No, I would just encourage us also to vote on it tonight, because if they refuse, they refuse. There's nothing we can do about it. Right. So let's not, tie it up on our end.
I think I agree with that, yeah. All right, is there a motion, if there's no further discussion, a motion to approve? It's the memorandum of understanding.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding.
All right, second?
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? Roll call vote? We could, sure. All right, roll call vote then. Jeff, yeah, there you go. You have something to do.
Excellent. Turn it on. Green. Kirk.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Winkers.
Aye.
Fusco.
Aye.
And Lonsdorf.
Aye.
5-0.
All right, that's 5-0. Okay, motion approved. We got an aye with a sigh. All right, thank you. Oh, that's taken a long time, and hopefully the union will agree to it. Last item is other business as allowed by law. Chief, you want to remind us of the next meeting?
So we have one more meeting. We have one in September as well, but reminder that...
Oh, sorry, October. Yeah,
the annual meeting in October is always the annual meeting of the district. So since you're my only elected official here tonight, please take it back to the town. And then just a reminder out there that the third meeting in October is all the municipalities are invited, and you essentially get a state of the state from myself.
And that will be here?
That will be here. I don't know, wave at Scott. That'll be here. We'll make him happy. You got the thumbs up. Yeah. We will host that here.
Okay.
So just please share that with your municipalities.
All right, and I actually have a conflict with next month's meeting, so I may not be here, but I'll talk to the chief about someone else to run the meeting.
Sounds like the secretary.
I'll be coming back from my honeymoon the day before, so I will be here.
I'll
be really relaxed, though, so it'll be good.
All right. And I can always cancel what I was planning to do, but we'll see. All right. If there's no other business, motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.